So, hi everyone. Today I'd like to talk about the Seagate Desktop 8TB external hard drive. This was actually a purchase that I made during Amazon's Prime Day because I needed a new hard drive. That was just to show you what the box looked like that it came in. As you can see, it includes the hard drive itself, a USB cable, and the charging plug. The charging plug, or the power plug, is rather interesting. It has a little cap that you remove and you slide the adapters on, and it includes a number of adapters for various parts of the world, which is quite interesting, and they're all in their own little bags, so I'll get to that in just a little bit. And again, this was just kind of an overview to show you about the plugs. The back of the hard drive has just the standard micro USB port and the little power plug for the power cord. The micro USB input is really easy and it's very snug. And the standard USB cable, I think it's a 3.0 USB. And that was just to show you the micro USB cable. And then that's again to show you a little bit more about the power adapter options. And they're all plastic. The prongs are metal. And then this was just show you all the different adapters that it came with. And this was a bit of a better view of the adapter and the other options, and that was again to show you just kind of how they're basically like a little plastic faceplate with the prongs attached. So I'm sorry it came out so dark because of my shadow, but this was just to show you the various kinds. I'll have to read them off to you in just a little bit because I can't remember all the countries right now off the top of my head. And that's just to show you how to slide it in. It slides in very easily and very smoothly, as you can see, and it snaps into place and it's secure. So it worked really well. So it fit well on my desk, as you can see, and you can see I also have another Seagate hard drive, so stay tuned. So hi everybody, so this is the Seagate hard drive. It is the 8TB version. If I'm not mistaken, it is sold in a 4 and a 6 as well. It may be sold in lower sizes or lower capacities too. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry about that. I do like it. I'm very happy with it. This was, as I mentioned, a Amazon Prime purchase. So Prime Day purchase. So I managed to get it for a drastically discounted price. So that's why I purchased it. I mainly wanted it to separate my personal files from like my video production stuff and my blog stuff and things of that nature. So I wanted to have two separate drives. I do have the previous hard drive that I purchased, which I haven't even filled up yet, but I'm still very happy with it. I added the link to that Seagate product in the description below. All in all, as you can see, it's a nice, decent size. It's rather compact. It is a desktop drive, so it will need to be left in a dedicated space. As I mentioned, it does have the micro USB cable, and it does require a power supply. I'll get to the power supply in just a bit. The USB cable actually is a decent length. I liked it. I was happy with that. The power supply cable is also a decent length, which is good. So if you have a surge protector, or if you're slightly farther away from a wall plug, it gives you decent leeway for plugging in your product. The only con that I have about this is that it does not have a power indicator light. You hear it when you plug it in because it makes a low humming noise, but it doesn't have a power indicator light like the other Seagate drive I have. And it doesn't have a on and off switch. So if you're going to use this just periodically, you just may want to unplug it either from the power source or from the USB port and do it that way. It does have the little feet that do have the anti-slip feet, which are good. It does get hot, so I will say that you may want to make sure that when it is transferring files, or you're doing a file transfers to it, that it does have enough air circulation, because it did get fairly warm. Because when I tested it out, transferring a lot of larger files from my one hard drive to this one. Writing speed will vary, or transfer speed will vary depending on if you're transferring it directly from your computer or from the other device say it through the USB port, or if it's plugged into a hub and you're transferring it that way. It may vary depending on the file size as well. So let me get back to the power source real quick. And if I'm not mistaken, this runs with I think it's USB 3 USB port, and it works with the USB 2 as well. It is Windows and Mac compatible. I've added the link to Seagate. I couldn't find that exact product on Seagate's website, but I did add the link to Amazon for anybody that wants to see it. So like I showed you in the video, the power cord comes with that little removable faceplate, which is cool. I'd never seen that before. That's kind of neat. So it came with all these other little faceplates, like I showed you guys. So you have to find the ones that correspond to your country, and all the bags are labeled, of course. I will say that I may have put some in the wrong bag when I took them out, because I didn't know that they were labeled by country. I just saw that they were all different types of prongs and stuff, and I'm like, what's all this stuff? Smarty Pants me didn't read the bag. So I may have mislabeled them when I put them back in the bag. But as you see, they have, you know, this kind of prong. And they're labeled from like Korea to the UK to, I think one of them's Japan and Australia, such as this one. Again, I'm not certain which ones were for which country because I mixed up the bags, but I'm just telling you that what countries were provided in the bag. Of course, it was the US and Canada, basically, Korea, Australia. Another one was basically for the UK, which was this bag. I'm not sure if this was the correct plug. And the other one was, I think, Japan. Oh, the EU, the European Union. And I think one was for Japan, but I don't know where the Japan one went at this point. But it came with a variety of extra plates, so you could switch it out for whatever country you were using it in, which was pretty neat, if you ask me. Besides that, I have no real complaints about the product, for the exception of the two that I talked about, which were basically the not having a on and off switch and the indicator light. But file transfer speed is decent. Again, it will depend on the size of the file you're transferring and how you're transferring the files. But I mean, I was able to use it, and I like too that it does offer a estimation of how long the file transfer will take. So for instance, I was transferring a bunch of photos and my video folder from my one external hard drive to the new one, and it stated that it would take a day and I don't know how many hours. You can pause your file transfers in between uses. So say if you only want to transfer for a little bit and you're going to be working at your desk or whatnot, and you want to pause it and come back to it, you can. I did that on accident because I wasn't too sure what to do, so I hibernated my computer and it paused the file transfer. So it will depend on the size of the file and the overall process. Like I said, if you're either using it directly to the computer or having it connected to a hub, it may take a little longer. I haven't had any issues so far. I've had it for almost a month and I've used it periodically on and off, but I do like it, and I did think that it was a perfect purchase for my needs. So I left all the information in the description below, and I hope everybody has a good day. Bye.